Listen up, for knowledge is spoken. You know, the hardest thing to learn is the fact that everybody's not going to accept you. Everyone is not going to embrace you. The sooner you understand that the biggest point of acceptance is self-acceptance, the better. You don't need everybody's acceptance. Though it feels good to get an applause, it feels good to have people say, job well done. Don't rely on it. In fact, the people who are your hardest opposition can be your biggest blessings. Now, how is that? Most great people throughout history are not known because of people embracing them. They're known because people didn't like them and they had a lot of opposition. In fact, those who are able to overcome their opposition are immortalized in history. This is the same with great teachers like Muhammad. You know, even today, Islam itself has spread like wildfire, not because people loved the religion. It is because even to today, the negative hype about the religion, people want to know, people are curious, and people end up embracing it because there's so much negative hype about it. Same thing with Jesus, the man of 2,000 years ago. He's not known. People say, oh, he's known because of Paul. And he's known because of the Acts of the Apostles and the other books. No, he's known because he was the biggest enemy of the Roman Empire, who crucified him, led to his death, and immortalized him. He's known because among his ranks he had a Judas of Iscariot. He had a Herod that was after him since birth. He just popularized him. They made him bigger than life itself. Most of your histories, even Mao Zedong said you're not great until you have a worthy opponent. So how do we use this opposition to our benefit? One, we know that everybody's not going to like us. So let's feed off of that. If you are a popular figure and people print negative things about you, stay calm, stay cool, stay connected. Know that people are going to come to you. And that is your time to express your program, express your vision. Let the fans of that's on the fire not have water to cool it, but let people blow on the fire and it spread. This is actually the popularity of how Trump came to power. Whether we agree with it or not, every time you put something about him on your timeline or make him popular, you've immortalized him. Now, some of you don't want negative recognition. And you don't have to. If your reputation is what it is, that doesn't mean your character reflects it. So a point of this is keep good character. Make your yay, your nay, your nay. Continue to do your works, your good works. But your enemies who spread rumors, that's to your benefit because people are curious and want to come check you out. Now, if you have a service, here's how you do it. You let people come to you and you present your product. You present your program. You let them see. That means that you got to hustle. That means you have to be on point. And that means that when people come to you, they come to you. Now, you look at all the great musicians. Some people have negative news and it's true and it's their undoing. But to others, when people spread negativity about them and try to dismantle them, it pushes everybody to them. Now, they don't have to publicize. They don't need flyers. And they do not need advertisement because of all of the negative press. This is their time to shine. It happens with the Beatles. The Beatles had a negative American press, and the press came to them and saw, wow, these people made good music. They had controversy surrounding them, but the Beatles are immortalized, man. Malcolm X on the front page of the New York Times Magazine, they announced the apostle of hate is dead. And the press had such negative things to say about Malcolm X. But now there's a stamp with Malcolm X image on it. There's a Malcolm X Boulevard. They could have just not said anything and kept him out of the press. And this is another thing. When you do not want one of your enemies to be successful, just be quiet. Just cease to think about them. Because if you cease to talk about them and think about them, they will cease to exist. But the minute you say, man, girl, let me tell you about so-and-so. And the last thing I want to say, if you want information out there, go a strategic route. Or if you want to know who your enemies are, drop a false rumor and let it circulate by your enemies. And this will reveal who your enemies are. Now, it's always good to know who they are, because if you don't, you'll have an issue. The Art of War by Sun Tzu said, if you know yourself and don't know your enemy, for every battle you win, you'll lose and take a step backwards. If you don't know yourself and don't know your enemy, you'll never win a battle. But if you know yourself and know your enemy, you will always be victorious. Don't run from enemies. Look, there's no such thing as everybody loving you and accepting you. And today's friend may be tomorrow's enemy. This is why keep your character intact. Do those things that you represent you. But don't run from criticism. Don't run from enemies. In fact, sometimes your friend will tell you that your breath smells good because they're your friend when they know it's a lie. When your enemy will say your breath is obnoxious. So the enemy that says your breath is obnoxious will help you to brush your teeth, use mouthwash, and put in a Tic Tac so you can go before the world. Sometimes it's your enemy that's your biggest helper. Thank you. Knowledge has spoken. Peace. Feel free to leave a comment down below, like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the station. Thank you.